James White, Boxing Social, in association with Empire Fight Store and Our Kings. I'm here with Jack Fincham. Nice to see you, Jack. First of all, how does it feel to be part of a pretty unique event?
Very unique event. I'll be honest, I'm just excited to get back in the ring. It's about time, it's coming up a year since I last boxed, obviously in 10-ounce gloves. But yeah, look, it's come around at the right time for me, to be honest. I was in a bit of a dark space, I would say. Come around at the right time, gave me a reason to get up and be healthy and train, because anyone that gets in that ring, no matter if they're only 20, knows what they're doing. So yeah, it come around at the right time for me, and I think, although it's a hybrid event, it's 4-ounce gloves, it's something quite new. I think boxing skills will always transition into that, and I think as long as you know how to throw a punch and you've got the skills to do it, I can't see me losing.
Quite brave in a way of jumping into a hybrid event.
Yeah.
How did that come about? There must have been other boxing offers.
Yeah, I mean, my plan all along was to go back to the pros again in England this time. I boxed obviously in Dubai and on the Mayweather card. I boxed on some big shows. I've had 30 amateurs. I had a lot of amateurs box at a good level as an amateur. So I had my license ready to go, but again, it was just playing with it. It was like getting a fight lined up, and then I'd mess it up for whatever reason, or not want to do it, or life would get in the way. But this time round, I was always going to turn pro again in England and just fight as a professional in England. I'm not standing there saying, do you know what I want to do? I want to earn loads of money. Of course I do, but I only want to do Misfits. I only want to fight influence. I want to do it properly, like how I always wanted to do it since I've been this big. I wanted to be a professional boxer. That's why I started. And that's why I've done it. That's why I've been doing it for 18 years. And that's what not a lot of people know. So I want to, box professionally in England. Box at your calls. I've boxed there before when I was a kid. In the ABAs, I want to box at Grey Civic Hall, Brentwood Centre. The small shows, nice 4-rounders, and get my name out there on the boxing circuit professionally, and not just this guy that was on Love Island that's done a bit of boxing, because that isn't the case.
Yeah, you've got some serious boxing pedigree.
Yeah.
It must be frustrating for people to think that you became a celebrity, then you've gone to boxing, when it's the complete opposite way around.
It's the complete opposite way around. I didn't just get a little bit of fame and be on TV and decide, I'm going to use this to box. That isn't the case. It's something that I've always done. And when I'd have mental struggles and stuff like that, boxing was the only thing that would save me in a way, and I'd go back to. So I'd always go back to boxing. I never wanted to stand in the gym and lift weights like that. And I don't know what I'm doing, number one. So it's something that I always went back to anyway, and it's something that's been a part of my life since I've been in school. I know everyone in the boxing sort of world, from the amateur to pro. I've trained with some of the best trainers. My trainer now, Mickey Burke, is an unbelievable trainer. I trained Sean Noakes. He's got a couple of champions out of that gym. So yeah, I've always trained and sparred with the best, and now I think being 32 years of age, it's time to actually get something out of it. I've been doing it for so long, why not get something out of it now? Yeah, it's amazing to say I box on a Mayweather card. Yeah, it's amazing to say that I box in Dubai. But what I always wanted to do was just box in England, and win a Southern Area title. And that is what I'm going to do. Mark my words, I'm going to go and win a Southern Area title at light heavyweight or maybe super middle, depending on how much I eat. But that is what I'm here to do and what I'm going to do. I can see the route to do it. I'm going to do it. There's no wavering this time, because time ain't on my side anymore. I'm not old, but in this game I am quite old.
Yeah, you mentioned the route there. Can you tell us what it is? What's the route this year? What's the plan in the future?
So I'm using this very much to get myself fit and have a reason to, and just to prove to myself that I can do it again. Just to say, and to prove that I can have the discipline again, because I boxed in April. I was going to fight at the O2 in June, but I messed up my hand. Through being an idiot, basically. It wasn't even through training. So I didn't end up fighting, lost a lot of money from that, and then I don't want to do it anymore. Then I just was living unhealthily, got the heaviest I'd ever been. I've never actually boxed this heavy, to be fair. The heaviest I've ever been, but the route is it's all in here. It's all down to me. It's what and me putting it into practice. I've got all the tools, I've got the skill to be able to do it. I've got the right people around me. Now it's just putting it into practice. So I want to try and have about 6 fights and then go and win a Southern Area. That's the plan. I'm going to sign with Warren Boxing Management. I'm going to, get these fights. I'm going to stay active. I want to stay consistently in the gym. None of this, training for a fight, going out the gym for months and then going back. This is going to be my life. I'm going to be doing it full time as a job. and let's get something out of it now. As I said, I've done it for so long. Let's finally be able to say, I don't want to just be a geezer in a pub that has got stories of what he could have done. I was a footballer, I broke my ACL. I'm not going to do that. I want to be able to say, no, look, I said I was going to turn my life around. I did turn my life around, and I did box professionally, and I did win a title.
And how important is it to be able to achieve those goals, to have the backing of Warren Boxing Promotion? Like, man, how important is that?
I think it's very important. It's amazing that Warren Boxing Management even wanted to sign me, because a lot of people, I think, over the years have been wary to take a chance on me. You know, I was signed with Boxer at one point. I wouldn't say I let them down, but life got in the way. I've trained at a high level, but something always happened, and I suppose people would look at that and think, oh God, is he really going to actually do it this time? So the fact they're taking a chance on me, I'm really grateful for, and I will not let it go to waste this time. I think it's very important as well because they've got boxing pedigree, they've got boxing knowledge, they're from a boxing family. You can't really ask for any better to start your career. I mean, I train with people, one of my good friends who's my trainer's son actually, Mickey Burt Jr., Ginge, Sean Noakes, they're signed with Warren Boxing Management. I've worked with Francis Warren before. He done a lot for me. He got me that fight in Dubai on the Mayweather card. So yeah, I don't think I can go far wrong with it. Now it's just to prove to them and to not let them down.
Yeah, I want to ask again about the Misfits. There must have been a huge temptation financially to go on the internet, call out a celebrity, because you know you've got the boxing skills, you'll probably win. Why did you choose to go back into the actual professional ranks?
The reason I wanted to do it properly and in the professional ranks is because, look, as you said, I could easily jump on Instagram now and start calling out people that was on the X Factor, Gogglebox, whatever, right? But as someone that loves boxing and as someone that's done it for such a long time, what good is that going to do for me even in my own head? I won't feel that much of a sense of achievement. Don't get me wrong, some of these fighters on Misfits and stuff, they're good. They're good fighters, they know how to box, and I rate and I respect anyone that gets in the ring, but for me, that isn't what I wanted to do. It isn't what I wanted to do. I'm not saying that won't come, because they do have pros fight on the show, and it's good as well. Why not take advantage of the fact that I can slip into both categories? I can slip into that influencer category, and I can slip into the pro category. I train as a pro, I train with pros, I spar with pros. I've got a pro license, but I'm also 1.6 million followers. You know what I mean? Been on TV. I can do both, and why not do both? Why not blend it together in some way? But at the same time, just for me personally, I want to box professionally, you know, under Warren Boxing Management, York Hall, you know, Grace Civic Hall, you know, those Brentwood Centre. That's what I want to do.
Would you change being, you've almost got a target on your back wherever you go? Shea Winter, for example, he's well up for this, only 20 years of age. Like, everybody wants to beat you because everyone knows who you are. Would you change that, or do you think it makes you better?
I think it's just part of life now, and that's not even just with boxing. It's with anything. It's like, if I go to do something, there's a lot of people that want to see you fail anyway, and most of the stuff I do, whether that's good or bad, is somehow gets made public. So it's something I can't change now. So I learn to live with it and I deal with it. But as for Shea, you know, he ain't going to want to lose to the Love Island guy, is he? You know, no one is. Whether you're good at fighting or not, some people don't know that. And some people don't know that I've got a boxing background. So it doesn't matter what happens. You know, I think it's always going to be a bit of a... they're always going to come to win. I don't think you're ever going to get anyone that's going there knowing they're going to lose. I think they're always going to come to win, no matter who I fight. And in anything that I do, which I've got to use that and just make myself train harder and be more prepared than others.
I want to ask you about the actual Misfit scene as well.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on it? Do you think it's good for boxing? Do you like it?
I think it is good for boxing. I think anything that could bring eyes onto the sport, I think it's good. But also at the same time, I think I've watched a couple of fights and they clearly didn't know what they was doing. You can get hurt in there. Like, whether you know how to throw a shot properly or not, if you're swinging like that, you know what I mean, and you without any real knowledge of what you're doing, it can be dangerous. And I think people need to understand that, because because what'll happen is someone will end up getting hurt. You know what I mean? But I think the quality of Misfits is definitely getting better. I mean, Anthony Taylor, who I've actually boxed myself, lost to Darren Till. That's wicked. And what a great platform, and it's a professional fight. So I love the fact they're getting eyes onto boxing, but also there's some people, it's hard because it's like, the fact it's such a buzz being in there anyway. Whether you're standing there swinging or you're actually standing there with a bit of skill, it doesn't really make a difference. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this, but overall, yeah, it's good. But I just think then maybe up the level a little bit in terms of the skill set that's going in the ring, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't.
Because for me, it's not entertaining watching it. 'Cause I could go and watch that in Abbey Wood at the pub if I wanted to. Do you know what I mean? I love the shows. I love how it's done, but I think that the level, the skill level, needs to be a bit higher on some fights.
Do you enjoy the sort of like pantomime area of it? I know KSI said some quite choice words to Wayne
I'd
Bridge.
love to fight him. I'd fight KSI. I would fight him. Yeah, not tomorrow. That's a bit too brave. But yeah, I'd fight KSI. But yeah, the whole pantomime thing. I think you get that in anything, though, don't you? I've seen it on big, massive shows. I mean, Floyd Mayweather, for example. Look what he used to do. You know what I mean? So you know. But yeah, I think it's just kind of part and parcel of it, and also the audience. It's a bit of a different audience, you know. A lot of these people and kids that are watching it are like, you know, YouTube fans, and a lot of the fights are built off of beef, aren't they? So they're kind of expecting it. But yeah, I think it just adds to it. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, the person standing opposite you always got utmost respect for them. No matter what you say prior to that, you've always got respect for that person because they got in the ring and they trained for it. Although some I would say, did you train? What was you doing?
Yeah, Jack Fincham, it's great to see you back. Best of luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.